Wednesday Season 2 still doesn't know what to do.
It's goth-flavored sludge in a CW stew.
The Addams feel neutered, the tone's out of place.
And Ortega's deadpan can't salvage this waste.
We've watched the first part of Season 2 of Wednesday.
And while it is still better than Season 1, it is still not good. And I do apologize in advance if I get loud because I will be trying to restrain my anger.
That's what I'm here for, to help restrain the anger or to say that it's completely not my fault if she gets angry and I did nothing and why are you looking at me?
So, Season 2 starts off. It's the end of summer break, and Wednesday is hunting a serial killer. And
Wait. You have to mention
What?
She's hunting a serial killer. How is she hunting the serial killer, honey?
With her psychic powers that she has, that Wednesday Addams never had before this show. Because she's not being Wednesday and doing actual detective work. She's being a psychic and doing stupid things that the Addams family doesn't do.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because I liked the idea, Wednesday's supposed to be like a crafty character and it's like, oh, I'm going to solve this murder by literally using magic. It's like, okay, but why
then
not?
You're not Wednesday. And do you guys remember the airport scene in the trailer? It actually does happen. And she doesn't get arrested for having a bunch of weapons. Thing is in her backpack and she passes him off as a prosthetic hand. And the security guy gets mad at the sunscreen in her backpack that Thing packed, not her. She finds the serial killer. She gets captured by him. Then she pulls an Uno reverse card. Thing pops out of a doll, and she escapes and scalps him. Now we're going back to school. The goth Hogwarts that should not exist with vampires and werewolves and gorgons. Oh my, that also should not exist.
Let me take this part. So then they're driving there, and suddenly Pugsley, by the way, Pugsley is the most inconsistent character in this entire show. We literally in the first season had when a bird hit the car, he like freaked out and he was like a wimp. And now he's just slinging lightning out of his. Now he can shoot lightning, by the way.
Oh yeah, no wait, you forget, honey, you forget what that's called.
An electrocutioner.
No, an electrocutioner. Electrocutioner would have been better.
But
that's also not supposed to be a thing!
Honey.
Sorry.
You need to calm down.
I said I was going to get mad.
But you need to calm down so we can get through this because I'm going to be honest with you, honey. I'm going to say this bluntly. I only watched this show for you, and I hate it. And I want to get through it as quickly as possible. And if that means you're being less angry till we get through it and then get angry afterwards, that sounds much better to me. Wednesday dares him to hit a sign or she's going to eject him from his seat.
And Pugsley gets scared for some reason, even though realistically Pugsley would be like, challenge accepted, ha.
This is so weird because we see Pugsley throughout this season and last season, both being very meek and scared of Wednesday and then being almost an equal. And it's so weird because you can't have both. Either Pugsley is like the partner in crime for Wednesday, like, the brother that she fights with, like in most adaptations, or he's the scared wimp. You can't have both. It's just really weird.
Yeah. Because there's literally this one brief flashback scene because Pugsley's now attending Nevermore Academy, and Morticia tells Wednesday, take care of your brother. Wednesday says, I always do. And then it cuts to a little flashback of her nailing him inside of a coffin, and he's crying. The real Pugsley would be laughing. And then comes the line when they exit the car from the fake Morticia that I absolutely hate. Control is often an illusion, like how I let your father think he's the one in charge of this family.
Yeah, it's not like you took his last name and your original name was Frump, and so he would be in charge of the family because without him, you would not be called the Addams Family. But okay, yes, it's really the strong female behind it all. What a surprise.
I hate that Gomez has been reduced to a side character in this. I really
and
do.
He eats bugs now. Live bugs.
Yes, all of the Addams eat bugs now. Live bugs. Spiders, worms,
For what reason? I don't remember this. I don't remember this.
No. I mean, I know they eat exotic things, but they never eat the bugs live.
And mice. Don't forget mice too.
Oh yeah, mice. But no, not live. They don't eat them live.
They eat them right out of the mousetrap.
For some reason. And then characters are introduced and reintroduced, and it turns out Wednesday has a fan club.
Because she saved the school, so now everybody likes her, and she has this creepy pigtailed fan, as you can see on the top left over there, that's literally...
wants to be her.
Wants to be her, and is like creepy and weird, and asks her for her autograph.
Very creepy.
It was just weird.
Quite. And then we get introduced to a couple new characters. One is the new headmaster, played by Stephen Buscemi.
Do you think Charles Addams stays in his grave because he too fears what he's created?
Here on Netflix CW.
He gets introduced to himself. He wants Wednesday to be the mascot of the school, and Wednesday's like, no, I don't want to. And he's like, oh, come on, don't you want to? We can do things together. Wednesday's like, haha, no, and leaves and goes upstairs to her room, which opens, and there is Enid.
With a bunch of her fellow werewolves, because werewolves are a thing for some reason.
I loved last season when she turned into the rainbow werewolf with rainbow hair. She's there, said all out, they leave. She talks with Wednesday a bit, said, I missed you, I brought you something, and brings Wednesday, what does she bring her?
I don't remember, but Wednesday gives her a doll that she stole from the serial killer that's made with real human hair.
Yeah, so that's the thing, and what happens next?
Honestly?
Well, Pugsley moves in with the bee guy from last season. There's no patriarchy in the hive.
That kid is back. He looks older, and his hair is a lot more frizzy, but he still has his braces for some reason. And Pugsley is now his roommate in the Caliban dorm.
And they tell a story later that night about a thing, and we get actually one of the best things from the show, aside from the intro.
A proper Tim Burton animation sequence. That was literally the best part. And besides the intro, that's literally the best part of the show.
Yeah, and it's about a kid who was very smart, but he was dying, so he made himself a robotic heart, and his heart saved him, but he died from his own genius, and then he was buried under the skull tree. I also want to mention, we forgot to mention that Wednesday's also powers aren't working very well. She keeps having these dark tears come out her eyes.
Yeah, that's actually told in episode 2. You find out that the black tears means, according to fake Morticia, psychic exhaustion. Honestly, we're probably going to be talking about things out of order, and honestly, I don't care.
Basically, what ends up happening, the important things you need to know is that her powers aren't good. She gets a psychic surge that basically shows her
that Enid is going to die, and Enid's ghost says, I died because of you, and it's Enid's headstone covered in crows.
So now she has to save Enid, but wait, also there's a bonfire.
For some reason, Wednesday decides she has to save Enid, because for some reason, Wednesday cares.
Yes, but wait. So there's a couple things that happen. So we have the biggest event of this show is the bonfire at the end of the things. There's a bonfire where they have a phoenix and they light it on fire, and these people can move it with their minds and make it fly for some reason.
The quote Da Vinci students who are telekinetics basically use their powers to pile up the sticks and the principal lights it on fire with his power, and they make it fly while it's on fire. But there's the twist. Wednesday's manuscript, which was rejected by the publisher because she refused to change a single word and do any editing,
for some reason,
it gets stolen.
And Wednesday never made a copy of it, so she has to climb into the bonfire to get it. And because
someone decided to put it in the bonfire.
Yes, but wait. So there's also a part that at some point we see this whole thing going on with ravens. And there's this guy like taking pictures of these two people meeting, and they're clearly like having an affair or whatever. And these birds end up coming and like attacking him and killing him. And Wednesday finds out about it and runs into the former sheriff, by the way, who's been replaced with large black woman sheriff.
who in the previous season was a deputy, but okay.
But now she's large black woman, the sheriff. I'm literally calling her large sheriff black woman. Because it sounds like Blue Eyes White Dragon, but it's like it's black, large sheriff black woman in defense mode. When she's in defense mode, she eats donuts. No, I'm just kidding.
Ha ha ha. And yeah, and
wait, so it ends off basically she gets her manuscript back, blah blah blah. She ends up basically finding out that she goes to go find the sheriff because she needs help with all this because the guy's stalking, and finds the sheriff in the house with his eyes pecked out. He's dead. And then the police come in and arrest her. Episode 2. So Gomez comes in and frees her because reasons. And when she gets back, she finds the sheriff's eye on Enid's pillow, and it's prank day.
Yeah. And
wait. She comes back and she finds Enid outside on like the patio area,
on their balcony, on their shared balcony, with her throat slit open.
And she freaks out. And then it's like, pranked you, haha, that's getting you back for the eye on my pillow. But it turns out it's a real eye because reasons.
Yeah, and basically prank day is basically how, kids throwing toilet paper at houses on Halloween.
We forgot to mention, during all of this in the first episode, Pugsley goes to the skull tree and gets scared because he hears the ticking heart of the boy in the tree stump. That's one of the things of the story.
Now, he doesn't get scared of that. He smiles and starts digging, and decides to start digging, then trips for some reason, and his electro powers go out of whack and into the ground.
And it revives the zombie, which he calls Slurp.
He decides to keep it as a pet and call it Slurp.
It shall be my Slurp, and he shall be my Slurpee.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, and it's got a mechanical heart because it's actually the story about the boy was true. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and Pugsley shocked him back to life and literally created a zombie. Yeah. Which does later on end up eating brains and becoming more intelligent and regenerating the more brains it eats, but okay.
Yeah, but wait. Let's get back to what we're saying.
Yeah, we're definitely out of order by now, but prank day is how we meet what Master hates.
Okay. So we had heard when this show was starting for season 2, we heard that one of the casting, they were going to bring in Christopher Lloyd. Now, Christopher Lloyd is 86 currently, so he's not a spring chicken anymore. However, the role of Grandpa Addams was right there for them to take. And instead,
if not with John Astin, who is still alive, then with Christopher Lloyd.
But wait, here's what happens, okay? For those who don't know, Christopher Lloyd played the original Fester in the movies. And they bring him back.
In the 90s movies, he was Uncle Fester.
Yes, and so instead, in this show, he's a head in a jar.
A jar that moves on a mechanical pole.
What's his name again?
And you can barely... Professor Olaf, I think.
Yeah,
and you can barely understand him because he talks inside water.
And he is literally the butt of every joke. He says, I hate prank day. Last time someone put eels in my tank. And then later on, he also becomes turned to stone. But no. We can't have Christopher Lloyd actually there. He's just going to be his head in a jar for no reason.
Yeah. Master hated that.
And when I say he's the butt of every joke, I kid you not, he is like the stupidest character in this entire season. It made me so mad to see it.
What they've done to Gomez is worse, but yeah.
But yeah, so there's that. Prank day goes wrong, whatever. Then Wednesday's powers still aren't working, and she realizes the only way she's going to figure out what's going on and what happened to the sheriff is she has to break into Willow Hill to beat Tyler, which is the Hyde from last season.
Basically her ex-boyfriend who tried to kill her. Joy.
And she breaks in somehow. And she fought, but then Tyler won't give her anything, and and so she leaves. And she comes back to find that Enid and her new boyfriend have been kidnapped and put in a clock tower with a bunch of knives coming down on them. And she has to solve a puzzle.
Now, there was one thing that happened right before that was pretty funny. Enid made Thing an honorary member of the school's werewolf pack. And they howled in celebration, and Wednesday came in, saw them howling, and then immediately
They
turned
immediately
around and
left,
closed
which
the
was
door.
actually kind of funny.
That was proper Wednesday. That made us laugh.
She comes back and she finds that Enid's gonna be killed and she has to go get him because she finds it's her stalker, and she ends up discovering that she has to solve a puzzle. When she solves it, the knives that are coming down, which by the way, she comes into Enid and her new boyfriend making out because reasons. I don't even know.
Yeah, because they're tied up together, and in the moment they just decide to kiss for some reason.
Don't try to escape the knives descending. Kiss.
You got claws. You can use them to pick the lock, you idiots.
Nope, let's kiss. I'm sure these chains around us will just stay there, and these knives that are coming, that are above our heads, I'm sure they'll just stay where they are, even though they keep falling down every little bit. Literally, she solves the thing. Basically, turns out that her stalker was actually the girl, her fangirl. She can turn invisible, including her clothes.
For some reason. She calls herself Wednesday's super fan. And Wednesday basically uses her obsession to turn her into her gopher girl.
Yes, and while this is all going on, turns out the principal's whole secret plan is to get Morticia to be in charge of the fundraising at the school.
Okay, the siren Bianca, who's an
From
okay
the first
character,
season.
but who's an okay character, but there's really no need for her to be a siren. Basically, the principal blackmails her with scholarship, with the threat
I'll take
of
away your scholarship if we don't have money. You use your powers to go make us get money.
Yeah, because apparently Morticia's mother is the one who is the successful businesswoman and is the matriarch of the family.
She gets compelled to go do it, but she doesn't end up doing it, and whatever. So let's get on to the next part. Okay, good. Let's keep this moving because we have 2 episodes still to go. So
they probably combined episodes, though.
I don't really care.
Neither do I. Let's continue.
If we forgot something, screw it. I don't care enough to remember it. If I don't remember it, it wasn't important.
Yes.
So then the next part is the filler episode. We get the funeral for Galpin, and Tyler's Hyde persona is now resurfacing, and they go on a camping trip because Wednesday discovers that some of the stuff and some of the clues she found says that this cabin in the woods somewhere that might have other things. And she goes on this whole camping trip, which ends up becoming this whole fight between the normies and the
outcasts. Basically, the Nevermore students versus a bunch of Boy Scouts.
But wait,
literal Boy Scouts.
But wait, Pugsley's friend Slurp has been on a rampage but came back. So Pugsley doesn't want to leave him by himself locked up. So he puts him in a coffin and brings him with for some reason.
We forgot to mention how Wednesday got to Willow Hill in the first place.
I don't care.
She stole Enid's driver's ed.
And she drove there and she did the meme. She cut the brake cord, looks at the guy, goes, "Look at me. I'm the captain now."
Literally holding a knife, and basically pretended to be Enid so she could get a car to drive to the asylum.
It's okay. The guy gets eaten later because Slurp likes brains. The normies fight the not normies, and Wednesday sneaks off to go look and finds hidden behind a mirror that basically says the word Lois, which she needs to figure out, and a bunch of people who have died but aren't maybe dead or whatever. Long story short, they end up winning the normie versus non-normies. Well, I don't even know. Outcasts fight.
I don't know. Honestly, we're going so out of order.
They're sore losers, so they come back later at night. The Scoutmaster and his troop come back because they lost, but they don't want to lose, and so they end up accidentally opening the crate opening the coffin, and Slurp eats the Scoutmaster. Nom nom, brains, tasty, yummy. The end.
And basically the murder gets discovered that someone's dead. The police come and take Slurp away in a straitjacket and a muzzle and send him off to Willow Hill for some reason. And Pugsley is very upset, and Mommy and Daddy are hugging him as he cries.
And then, so let's get to the last episode. So we find out that Wednesday has called gay Uncle Fester
to infiltrate Willow Hill for her because reasons.
Yep, and so he infiltrates Willow Hill, and he tries to find out who Lois is, and he finds out that Lois isn't a person. It's the long-term outcast integration study, and Wednesday breaks in at some point, and they try to get Fester out of there because he's trapped, and it's a mess. Honestly, this whole episode is a mess.
All of it is a mess.
But it turns
and don't forget,
out
we also get Christina Ricci's character again.
And then she dies.
She's killed at the end of episode 4.
And why is Fester gay? He's not. He just acts gay. So he's very... They have him making out with a woman, but I guarantee he's gay. I'm sorry.
Honestly, well, for one, because we think that because of his Dalmatian helmet in season 1.
I like to travel incognito.
That's actually how he said it, yes. I feel like they were trying to go for the 60s, to mimic the 60s actor who had the sort of squeaky-ish voice. But that worked for the 60s. It does not work for 2025.
Yeah, so basically, Tyler breaks out. Long story short, they find a secret wing, and find out.
And we also forgot about how Wednesday's. Okay, wait, no, yeah, you continue that, and then I'll go.
Wednesday's book got taken by her mom. Her book that let her unlock her powers, but she ends up fighting her mom for it and losing, and her mom goes to burn it. The end. We don't have to care about that part.
Yeah. Shall I cover everything else then?
No, let's get through this. I know it's out of order, crazy. This is just annoying.
No, because there's another big important part that I just remembered that we forgot.
What part?
Aunt Ophelia!
Oh, yeah. They mentioned Aunt Ophelia at some point during it because Aunt Ophelia was like Wednesday and overtaxed her powers and stuff.
Yeah, they turned Aunt Ophelia into a psychic who went crazy from overusing psychic powers, which is one of the things I absolutely hate. Aunt Ophelia, Morticia's sister, was always meant to be the foil to Morticia, the polar opposite of Morticia, the happy-go-lucky, bubbly sister. She was never a psychic. She was never insane. And I absolutely hate what they have done. But that's my tirade at an end. I hate this show.
Turns out it's the long-term outcast integration study, and they break in and they break her out, and they find out that it's Dr. Judy Fairburn is actually Stonehurst's daughter, which is the person who's basically who's behind the Lois thing, and she controls birds. Dr. Stonehurst was trying to figure out how to take outcast powers and transfer them into normies, and he did it to his daughter, and she controls birds, and she's been killing everybody. But it's okay because Tyler breaks out and everything. Fester electrocutes everything and destroys everything, and ends up freeing all the people in the Willow Hill, and they all kill Dr. Fairburn, and then Tyler attacks Wednesday and throws her out the window, and she's comatose, and that's where the show ends.
Until September, when we find out what happens next. And I still think and since we still haven't seen Lady Gaga's character, she is either going to be Ophelia, the actual killer, or both.
I think she's not, and I'll tell you why, because we get a character in the cells at Lois who's like this character who's just there, and she says, like, what are you, like, the way she acts,
you're right.
It makes it seem like it's Ophelia.
Oh, and you might be right, because she was wearing a white flowery dress.
Yeah, I guarantee that's Ophelia, because Ophelia went missing, apparently. They mentioned that, and in that Lois place, all the people there are said to have died, but they really didn't. So, honestly, the show itself isn't really that bad. The problem is it's a terrible Addams Family show, and it's basically, put it this way, if you took Wednesday and you substituted her with Nancy Drew, but with psychic powers...
Oh, and don't forget, she's also emo. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I love Addams Family. I do. But this is not Addams Family. It's a disgrace.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
Like the video break, the algorithm style, share with your crew. Escape mind's hell, from spooky memes to advice obscure. Here's your dark solace of humor as a cure.